It's a 500 subscriber special. Roll the intros. Hi guys, and welcome back to Chelmswood Junction. I'm Peter. As the title suggests, this is the 500 subscriber special. I just want to thank every single one of you for helping me get to this landmark of 500s. I want to give a big shout out to Jason at Barnabus Junction and Andrew, who is another friend of mine on YouTube and Facebook. A big thank you to them for helping get me the push up to the 500 mark. What am I going to do special today? Well, as usual, been at Tony's Trains. I've got something special for the layout. Let's get down to baseball level and let's have a look, see what's in the bag, shall we? Roll the next clip. So, without further ado, let's have a look, see what we got in the bag, shall we? Let's get the little item out first. We have a TTS decoder. I'm not showing you which one it is yet. Hold on. Let's get the main item out, shall we? Something different for the layout. At long last, Chelmswood Junction has got a steamer to its collection. And not just any steamer. As a lot of you know, I am a Great Western lad, originally from Plymouth in Devon, home depot of g.w.r. And yeah, I thought I had to have a Great Western King on the layout. This one is R3331 g.w.r. King Class King James I, and it's engine number 6011. Bit of history about the King class. The Kings were made because at the time the g.w.r. held the record for the most tractive effort for steam locomotives in the country until the Southern brought out the Lord Nelsons. So the Great Western, not to be outdone, wanted the claim back. So they came up with the King class. Now there was 30 or so of these built at Swindon between the 20s and the 30s. And if I remember right, I think there's about 6 of these that have got into preservation, maybe only 3. So there are a few examples still around in existence and some are still in working order. So without further ado, guys, let's have a quick look around the box. So as you've seen the front, you've seen the side panel. The other side panel, it's the usual Hornby logo. Bottom, it's just the usual different languages, Hornby Hobbies, and the barcodes. On the back, you get all the history. If I'm going to try and get all this in for you, camera guys, if you want to pause it and read it, you can indeed. Let's try and get it out the light for you. That's a bit better for you. And you get a lovely engineering drawing that Hornby done. And let's have a look, see when this one was done. This was done back in 2014, this engineering drawing. So this sample is 6 years old. And it's the first one to come to Chelmswood Junction. And is actually the first King class that I have actually ever owned. So without further ado, let's get the outer sleeve off. And as you've guessed it, it's the usual ice block. So let's quickly get rid of the rest of the packaging. And what do we get inside? The usual destruction manual from Hornby. All the do's and don'ts, tells you where to oil, what parts you can put on, how to take the loco apart, how to fit a DCC decoder, how to make the coupling closer if you're putting it on display, and on how to put on the brake rodding on the bottom and the usual safety notes at the bottom. So let's put that to the sides and put that one to the sides. Let's get rid of the outer cover of the ice cube. First of all, straight away, we have the usual bits bag, and as you can see, it's clearly got nameplates there. They're not etched metal. I would say they probably are plastic, but they do look quite nice. You've got a little bit of front detailing there, and you've got the brake rodding as well. Let's pop that back in the box so it doesn't get lost. And let's get this item out of the ice cube. It's been very well packaged, as always, from Hornby. Now, I will say that this is a second-hand loco, but it is absolutely in mint condition. So let's get you down there, guys. Let's bring you down so we can get nice and close and we can get a real good look at this item. Let me just bring you down, guys. Just going to bring you down as carefully as I can. There we go, perfect. Now we can bring the loco closer to you. So straight away, let's have a look at the front ends. Got lovely front sprung buffers. You've got the cylinders there. Nicely detailed front ends. Number of the loco on the front. And a nice colour of the buffer beam. That is actually, I think, the proper colour for the buffer beam. Side angle. As you can see, beautifully represented. You've got all the valve gear in the right place. The valve chest has got all the properly printed lined markings on it. It's a lovely nameplate. Again, King James I and 6011 nameplate. Top of the loco is very, very well highly detailed, lined with the black and red across the top. Lovely brass safety valve, brass whistle, and brass copper capped chimney. And this one is the single chimney version. Going on to the back of the tender, this is the Great Western proper logo. This is where obviously you would put your DCC chip and your sound decoder. The coal load, I believe, is removable. And on the back, yep, we have sprung buffers and we have an NEM tension lock couplet in the back. And I believe there is provisions for a tension lock or KD, whichever NEM coupling you want to put on the front. I won't be putting a coupler on the front of this because I prefer to have them on the back. And eventually I will be replacing, hopefully, these over for KDs. So, see if we can get you in close to have a look at the cab, guys. I'm not sure we're going to be able to see quite clear. Oh, we can. So, as you can see, the driver's side, sorry, the fireman's side, I do believe, because don't forget, the g.w.r. was driven from the right-hand side and was fired from the left-hand side. Why the g.w.r. did that, I don't know. Maybe it's because of the doorless seawall to save the driver getting wet. Who knows, but the g.w.r. always did things differently, so they put the driver on the right hand side. And also, none of the other four big companies, the other three big companies, as you know, guys, don't do any editing in my videos. The other three big companies never put in speedos, whereas the g.w.r. on the express trains put speedos in all their 460s. So the cab detail, you can clearly see there. The regulator, the controls that the driver would use, all the brass piping through the cab, looks very nice. On the underneath, let's have a look, shall we? So we just very carefully turn the loco over. And underneath, as you can see, you've got the water pickup for the tender, very nicely detailed. You've got 4 cables going from the main loco into a plug that goes into the tender. That's obviously where, like I said, your DCC chip will go. The engine has got the motor power, and it has got all 6-wheel pickup on all the wheels, and it's got beautifully detailed brass gear on the bottom. So what I'm going to do, guys, is, of course, the TCS chip is for the King class. So I'm going to get this one chipped up, guys, and then I'll come back to you. See you soon. Welcome back, guys. So I've just got the old service cradle out from Pico and took out the 2 retaining screws from the tender body, and hopefully, fingers crossed, there we go. Tender top comes off quite nicely, and let's just double check, see if the coal load does come out. Sounds like it does because it sounds loose. I would say it does come out, guys, so you could probably put real crushed up coal into there to make it more realistic, and there's plenty of space there if you wanted to get all the ironmongery that the farmer would use, so you could probably nicely store that in there. That's something I might look into to see if I can get the detailing for that bit. But as you can see, there's a blanket plug right at the back, and also where the speaker is going to sit. And talking about the speaker, let's get the DCC chip out. Now this is, before I open it up, is 08109, and it's a TTS sound decoder King class. It should be $42.99, but as per buying anything from Tony's, got a deal on this, he knocked £3 off. So £40 for each sound decoder, you can't really grumble. So what are you getting in the box? Well, first of all, let's get rid of the boring part. It's just the usual important information from Hornby. Let's get rid of that. That's the boring bit. You then get the decoder itself, which is wrapped up in its little sleeve, and the usual little speaker. Now, I'm going to have it, once I've listened to this and I've had a good look at it, I might investigate and might even get a newer or better speaker for this one. So that's that bit. And the main instructions here. So we'll open her up and get to the most important bit, which is the sound functions. And there is 18 functions. And function 0, as we know, is for lights, but this one doesn't have any lights, so we don't need that one. Function 1, obviously, turns the sound on and off. 2 is whistle medium. Whistle long, number 3. Number 4 is whistle short. Whistle 5 is whistle 2 bursts. Number 6 is wheel slip. 7 is coal shuffling. Number 8 is the blowdown. 9 is safety valve. 10 injector. 11 cylinder cock. 12 is the brakes, 13 is a blower, 14 is the good old-fashioned gas whistle, 15 is the coupling up of the train to the loco. F16, I mean, really? Fireman's breakfast? Really? I don't think you really need to really have that on there. You wouldn't normally hear that kind of thing happening on a station platform over the sound of a King class safety valve blowing. So what was the point in that one, Hornby? Don't know. F17 is the toggle between chuffing a sound or coasting. That's a good idea, actually. That you can alter whether you want it to chuffing along or if you just want it coasting. So that's a good thing. And number 18 is for auxiliary lighting and possibly, say, like for a smoke generator in the system. The CV side, all CVs are the usual standards Hornby settings for the brake acceleration, highest, maximum voltage, lowest voltage, etc., etc. If you're into CVs, that might be something you might want to have a look at. And also the CV numbers for the volume controls. Now, Hornby have set this into the middle of the range between 0 to 8, and Hornby have set all sounds as a default of 4. Now, if you're not into changing CVs, then don't do it if you're not comfortable doing it, because if you do change a CV, you don't know how to get it back, and you try resetting the chip with one of these because it's a sound decoder, you could reset the sound and wipe it off. So only change CVs if you know what you're doing, guys, or if you know someone that could do it for you that knows what they're doing. But that's the instructions. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to get the chip inside, get it put back together. Next time I speak to you, hopefully it'll be on the tracks. Be back in a second. Now, at long last, guys, I've got it onto the tracks. Now, I've actually had a bit of a pain to get this one DCC chipped up. The one thing you have to keep an eye on, bear in mind, is when you remove the tender, these two handrails locate into a very tiny hole on the bottom plate of the tender. So what I had to do is I actually had to get my small not screwdrivers, the small, very small drills out on a pin vise, and very gently and carefully make the hole a little bit bigger to locate these handrails. It's still not brilliantly now, I'll have to redo that again. The chip itself can only be positioned in this end. The enclosure, the plastic enclosure that the speaker comes with, will not fit inside the tender with the way Hornby have designed the back at the inside of it. Another point to add is when you get it from the factory, oil all the areas that it says to oil, because it could be running dry. This was running a little bit noisy and a bit stiff. I've given it some oil and now it is actually running fine. Another issue with this you've got to be careful of, it is a bit temperamental on points. It may have been because it just needed running in and it was just a bit stiff, but now it seems to be working fine. Also, another point to add is when I first put it on the tracks and give it a quick test run, the wheels on this end of the tender were riding high. So when it was going over the points, it was either derailing or shorting the points out. And I found that what it was is the screw that couples the locomotive and the tender together was too tight. So I've loosened it off, left it slack, and it's now giving it a bit more movement. So when you DCC chipping this, guys, and you're putting sound into it, bearing in mind the way Hornby designed the inside of this tender, you're not going to get a very big speaker in there. So bear that in mind. But without further ado, let's turn the sound on, which is the usual function 1. And we will go through the functions with you. Function 2 is whistle medium. Function 3 is whistle long. It's quite a nice one. Function, where was we? 4 is whistle short. Function 5 is whistle 2 bursts. Function 6 is wheel slip. Quite a nice feature, that is. It's unfortunate that with the technology that we've got now, that Hornby, Bachmann and the other companies haven't been able to make that sound function rotate the wheels at the same time. So that might be something that Hornby might want to look into. Bachmann, come on guys, you know, it's 2020 now, we've got the computer technology, we've got the chip technology, we're now onto version 5 lock sounds with a lot of more functionality. That could be a function that you could connect the wheels to do it as well. Just me being a bit picky, I suppose. Function 7 is coal shoveling. Function 8 is blowdown. Excuse me, guys. Function 9 is safety valve. Function 10 is the injector. Function 11 is the cylinder cocks. Function 12 is the brake. Function 13 is the blower. Function 14, good old gas whistle. That does actually sound, guys, with the speaker that's provided with this TTS chip. That does sound very, very tinny. I don't know what it came out like over the audio on my phone. Bearing in mind I am using the Samsung Galaxy S10, which does have good sound quality, but that did sound very, very tinny. Function 15 is the coupler crank. And function 16, really, fireman's breakfast. You're not going to hear that, guys, on a platform over a steam train. So I find that one's a bit of a silly novelty one. That's one that I wouldn't use. And function 17 is to toggle off between chuffing and coasting. I'll give you a demonstration of that, guys. I'll just take it back a bit. Now bring her forwards. So she's chuffing away. Now she's coasting. Turn it off. Back to moving. So I'll just bring it back into shot for you guys. Right, what's she like running wise? Right, let's put her on to speed step 1. And it is quite a nice little crawl, but it does seem a bit jerky. Again, oh, and there you go, bit of dirty track. So we'll just turn it back on. Sorry for the hand of God there, guys. But as you can see, it can move, and I'll put it onto speed step 2. It's still running a bit stiff, I think, but to be quite honest, guys. But functionality, I like the functions on it, the sound for the sounds, apart from the silly one. So, without further ado, I'm going to get her hooked up to some carriages, and I'll get you to see her putting the train away. Hold on, guys. So there you have it, guys, the 500 subscriber special, a steamer at long last on Chelmswood Junction. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you for making it a 500 subscriber special, and I'd just like to wish and thank everyone that's joined the channel recently. I hope you're enjoying the content so far, and I hope you enjoy future content. And I hope to hear from you guys in the comments what you think of the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to say anything about the video, please put a comment down below. If you're not a subscriber, why not? Join the channel, hit the subscribe button. Join me as I take this baseboard to a scenic model railway. We're now at 525 subscribers. I just want to wish everyone that's joined recently, thank you very much for coming on board. If you want to carry on watching videos from this channel, then you can. There should be a link coming up here and here. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and above all, happy modelling. Bye-bye for now.